Optimism that we started the week off with. The market yesterday coming under quite a bit of pressure. What's your perspective on the kind of activity we're seeing at the moment?
Good morning, Alicia. What we're really saying is the market is really fairly stable, and it's going to remain fairly stable and only moves according to certain corporate actions by certain stocks. And for example, things like impending deregulation in the downstream sector has led to increases in corn oil and AP over the last few days, although AP is beginning to trend downwards now, but corn oil is still going upwards. Or when corporate actions like Coste in West Africa announcing results will leads to appreciation in its price. So the market is really in a stable holding pattern and only moves according to corporate actions or market sentiment.
With that being the case, let's hone in on the banking sector, because we know that EcoBank for a while now has been quite a star player. It's been backing a downward trend, surging higher day by day. Yesterday, though, falling back. What's interesting is that fringe players have managed to buck the overall trend. Run us through some of the dynamic we're seeing unfold within the banking space at the moment.
And what we're seeing in the fringe players space is mainly some of the rescued banks who some of their stocks have gone up, and that's on speculation about recapitalization. There's a lot of speculation rife in the market that one or two foreign entities as well as some domestic players are going to have agreed looking into some of these rescued banks, these banks rescued by CBN, and are close to agreeing to recapitalize these banks. And so based on those rumors, some people are taking positions in some of those fringe player banks. Banks like EcoBank that have shown strong growth in the last few days and then trending downwards yesterday is purely profit taking. Once a stock gets to a certain level, investors take profit and then it goes down.
Well, just as an aside, I was reading an article that said important to keep in mind is that the Nigerian economy is severely under-leveraged right now. Despite the strong growth achieved in the past 5 years, the banking sector still remains relatively under-penetrated with loan-to-GDP ratio of about 20%. How do you see this dynamic changing, if at all, Kayode, given current challenges the sector faces? Because growth here is what these players need to be chasing.
Yes, it's interesting because we had CBN yesterday stating that the expected growth will be about 7.5% this year, and growth in Q1 is going to be about 6.5%. And many people say they can't really see that growth in the real economy, and especially with the banks not lending. What is driving this growth, which is mainly in the non-oil sector, although the oil sector is showing, because of the amnesty, is showing good growth. I think what we have to say is that we have to watch CBN reforms, because CBN is really trying to have the banks play a bigger role in the real sector by lending to real manufacturing concerns, which hasn't really been the case in the past. And some of the reforms they try to put in place and the measures they announced yesterday to decrease the deposit rates to 1% is just to encourage the banks to start lending. But I don't think the banks are going to start lending until after the common year-end results appear, and then that's when they'll be freer to spend some of that excess liquidity they do have and lend it out into the real sector. Especially
when that focus is on asset quality and on balance sheet repair. Amidst this picture, though, Kayode, we've got non-banking names stealing quite a bit of attention. Honeyflower up 5% yesterday, adding to Monday's 4.6% gain. What's your view on that counter?
Honeywell Flour had a capital raising exercise about 12 months ago, which went quite successfully, and based on that they decided they're going to expand their facilities. It's below Dangote Flour and flour mills in terms of market share, but it's the third biggest in the market, and it's growing. It's introducing some new products, and it's got a buzz around it. And I think a lot of investors are taking positions there and expecting some quite good results from Honeywell Flour, and that's the reason why.